Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to your weekly energy update. And this week on January 28th, we have Saturn is actually going direct. It was in its retrograde for a while. It was in its post shadow, and now it is fully direct this week toward the end of this week. The overall energy for the week, though, is kind of quiet and easygoing. It's a time to really get caught up on any kind of backlogs or anything that we fell behind in because we were doing so much reflection in our lives. So it's going to be kind of just a cozy, gentle movement towards action that's going on. And as far as like work week and work, it will be a positive week where it's really beneficial towards teamwork, towards negotiations, brainstorming, things like that. Saturn energy, they're the wise old grandpa kind of energy where they do the work. They just really get into reflecting on and challenging our old ways of thinking, helping us kind of transform the way we approach things, expectations, and all our supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos around different areas of our life. We're challenged to work at those and question those and transform them into something that's more fitting for the energy now. Stuff we did before was good for then. It helped us, but now they are outdated. It's time to move into something more in alignment with what we're going through right now. What's great, though, with Saturn is that we have a work that we do that they offer us. Say, if you work on this, they also give us a reward. So for this reading for this week, for each individual zodiac sign, we're just going to be asking, what was it the work that we were given to do? And now what is the coming reward? So as I said, we have a reading for each individual zodiac sign, and we're going to jump into yours right now. All right, Gemini, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off pulling a card here from the Seeker Oracle. And all the cards that I use in a reading, I do list in the description box of the video down below. So if any of these catch your eye and you want them for yourself, you know where you can pick those up. All right, so the first card we're going to pull here is actually going to represent the work that you did during the Saturn retrograde, and I do want this card right here. And so we'll see what work you were doing, which was being a curious creature. Look at that. Beautiful artistry there. And we're going to put that right here. And let's see what work was done within this here. So when we show curiosity by asking people about themselves and their lives, we demonstrate that we are interested. It creates communication pathways that serve to strengthen our relationships. When was the last time you showed genuine interest in learning more about the people in your life? When we show interest, ask questions, and engage in learning, it's good for our brain. Staying mentally active by being curious and asking questions can help our brain stay healthy and young. Curiosity can also go a long way in helping people to overcome social anxiety. If our minds are engaged by the desire to learn and ask questions, it's less likely to be focused on fictional fears. Do you often hold off on asking questions because you believe others might think your questions are silly? The only silly question, of course, is the one that we don't ask because we are afraid. It is always better to ask than it is to make an assumption or speculate. So true. Don't ever let fear be the reason for not asking a question or finding an answer. Curiosity killed the cat. This proverb is often offered as a warning to those who ask too many questions. However, a curious, questioning person would soon discover that the original version was care killed the cat. Curiosity had nothing to do with it. Another later version of the proverb is, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. I love it. Curiosity might sometimes reveal information that can cause hurt and harm or reveal deception or error, but it is better to know. Ignorance is not bliss, nor does it serve anyone. Sometimes the truth can hurt, but would you prefer a truth that causes discomfort or a kind lie that deceives and paints a false reality? Love your curious creature and ask questions about everything. Yeah. So being curious and being inquisitive and questioning, that's the whole Saturn thing, is questioning your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets about things, but also questioning and being curious about others, opening up. But I feel like the big thing is you were really questioning some important beliefs that you were blindly believing before, and out of fear of finding, what if this is untrue, you instead took that other path of, I'd rather know if what I've been told and been trying to reinforce all my life, if it's true or not, because I'm investing so much energy trying to protect it, maybe I don't need to anymore. And I like that. Now we're also going to pull here from the wisdom of the Oracle. And we're going to see what reward you gleaned from this or will be coming your way here very soon. So for our Gemini, what would you like them to know about their reward? Okay, that is the one here. And you have the Observer. Beautiful. I like this. This is all about being curious and observing others and not, putting labels or judging them over it, assuming things. It's observing and asking questions and observing and learning through observation too. It allows you to observe life rather than trying to control it, right? Trying to make sure all these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that we had before, that they were, we're trying to reinforce them, and keeping an eye on people to see if they are not breaking our rules. This is a more of a compassionate observer. So the essential energy of this card of your reward is about perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. The Oracle's message for you is that most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Yeah. So it's like we're talking about here, you're curious instead of judgmental. You're observing and watching from a distance rather than being in the middle of it, trying to control things. You're allowing yourself to be inquisitive and open-minded and open-hearted, which is definitely a gift, because when you're trying to control a herd of cats, you invest in a lot of energy with zero productivity. So a much more beneficial and rewarding use of your energy. And these do come with a relationship or prosperity and a protection message, which we do want to read. The relationship message says sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. There we go. The curious creature, have curiosity. You can't make it up. Perfect. So that definitely helps relationships, right? Instead of going, wow, you said this, and you're curious. You're like, okay, I see what you're saying. Well, let me make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. So is this what you're meaning? No, I mean, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Instead of going, how dare you say this? I'm like, that's not what I was meaning. You're like, oh, sorry. What were you meaning? It's the difference of how relationships and communication go, right? And then prosperity message for this card is, it is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. You just can't make it up. Curious, curious, curious. And then the protection message for this card says, ever think sometimes your life options are suction cupped to your face and you can't see beyond yourself? There's a big world out there, a multitude of potential realities that you're unable to perceive at present. So you're a little stuck? It's time to get advice from someone you trust, someone who has a better perspective or a different perspective on your circumstances. Other points of view are needed now before you move forward. Take heart. A beautiful vista is waiting for you to drink it in. You just need a little help widening your scope beyond your small s self. So I like it. So yeah, definitely this curiosity is helping you in all areas of your life, even how you perceive your own self and your own decisions, especially, right? So you can ask spirit for their point of view, others for their point of view. Doesn't mean you have to accept them all, but you can ask. We're also going to pull from the Light Seers Tarot here and see what else spirit has for you, Gemini. So what else for Gemini, please? Okay. Okay. And okay, then they want the one from the bottom. All right. So, yeah, so seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. The Judgment card is your higher self, calling your human self to see things from this higher perspective, seeing things from their point of view, from the point of view that is so much more open-hearted and open-minded, right? So you definitely have this wonderful higher viewpoint that's coming in for you with both of these cards combined together. You know, when we have the courage to question, you know, like it says, this curious, questioning kind of attitude, we don't get so attached to like, oh, it has to be this way. It's like, well, it could be this way. Is there another way? You know, and we're able to transform things. You know, when my friends, when she first met her husband, when they were just still dating, she was really frustrated one day, and it really cracked me up because they were making brownies with some brownie mix, and she was like, oh my God, and it frustrated me so much because he put the eggs in first, and you know that you don't put the eggs in till this portion, and then he did this, and we had this argument, and I'm like, well, why do you think that your way is the way it's supposed to be done? Well, that's the way it says it on the box. And I'm like, well, just because the box says it, or that you grew up always being taught this is the way you do it, Perhaps there's another way. So next time you can ask like a curious creature and ask, that's interesting how you're doing that. Why do you do it that way? I go, one, you'll find new ways of doing things, but it's a different approach and that will keep you from usually having a conflict and a battle. So she came back the next week and she said, oh my God, we went to bake a cake and I remember what you said. And I asked that, and they both knew me. And when she asked that, approached it that way, he asked, have you been talking to Brother Zen? Because they knew that was my approach. And now they still, even to this day, this was like probably 15, 20 years ago, they said we still use that and crack up about it. So I love that. Yeah, because it brings you this, look, bliss, 10 of cups, overflowingness. It definitely does allow more harmony and more interest. You know, when people love for you to ask them about themselves instead of just assuming, and when people are curious, people love to share and open up, and because a lot of people are literally waiting to respond about themselves, not ask more questions. And so when people do, kind of blows your mind and you're like, what's going on? Yeah, and you have the Seven of Swords. This is the open-mindedness. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the Seven of Swords is known as like the thievery card, but you are understanding what of your own thoughts and your own beliefs have been stealing from you in the past. And you're understanding that the preconceived ideas are what have kept you from being able to have this and expand and have more peace. So there's this beautiful energy that's unflowing with that here for you. Yeah, and more Nine of Swords. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, the nightmare, insomnia card coming in. All of these thoughts and beliefs, again, you're being set free from these. These are all the fears, all the expectations that you're trying to live up to, all that long list, instead of allowing it to be each moment be curious and what I can learn through this, and open-minded. This is closed-mindedness. So we're opening it up. Think of the odd numbers, 7 and 9. Like if you have 8, there's 3, 4 on each side. There's this beautiful open flow here. But if you throw a 7 or a 9, there's this big block which stops the flow. It stops open-mindedness and it's closed-mindedness. Yeah, and here you go, Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, very nurturing energy, very open-minded, very down-to-earth, new birth, and beautiful unflowing and opening of this too. So definitely there's this new birth, this fresh air that comes in, very calm, very serene, very grounded. And you, like it talked about, you don't fear as much when you are asking people and inquiring about them and what's going on and what are their opinion, where they think of things, not needing to defend your own, but being open. It just brings in this great harmony and this great balance. And I love this for you. Wow, what a wonderful transformative energy that's coming in here for you, Gemini. So I am loving where this is coming from, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. But that is what Spirit has for you this week, Gemini. And if you're looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out pick-a-card readings, monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of readings throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of these and get updated immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then by clicking the subscribe button, you're given access to the notification bell. And if you go in there, there is an option to select for all. And if you do that, 2 things happen. One, of course, you're notified immediately when I post new videos. But 2, you're also notified when I go live on YouTube to provide free readings. In addition to that as well, you help spread the Zen Love, and you do help the channel grow in significant ways, because when you like or share one of the videos, if you comment on one of my videos, if you subscribe to my channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy, crazy, happy. It wants to automatically share the videos of my channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that stuff I mentioned, please know I'm very, very grateful. And these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is located in the description box of the video down below. All right, beautiful people, as you go throughout this next week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. We'll be talking soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.